What's up everybody, it's me Johnny G and welcome back to the channel. What you're about to watch is a small update that I created and recorded back around the 10th of July. And so that was about a month and a half ago, and I just didn't have the time really to edit it and to work on getting that out there for you. So you'll see that now. And this was intended to be a channel update because it was something that we usually do, is we do a channel update after the video creation events and things like that. And with this, I had just received my prize in the mail from the Lappland altar event, the I Portatori Dei Velluti Arknights event. And I wanted to unbox that and go through my usual process, give you a channel update. So a lot of the information and things that I talk about here is still valid. It is still stuff that I wanted to bring up and talk about how I was feeling at the time. But under the circumstances, since recording this, we've had another video creation event that happened for the U and Blaze altar event. That is done. We finished that. There's a lot of other cool things that have happened in my life and in the channel in terms of content that I've created, the streams that I've had, the stuff that I've gotten into, and furthermore, stuff with voice acting and other things that I touch upon a little bit here. But we'll get into it a little bit more in another update. Of course, there'll be one coming soon regarding the most recent video creation event. But for now, I'll let past me tell you a little bit about how I was feeling at that time and the state of the channel. And before I let you go to him, I'm very excited for what's to come, because as of this point in time when I'm recording this, which is August 27th, we're rapidly approaching 500 subscribers. And we've had a lot of really cool stuff happen lately. Again, with my content, with voice acting, with people that I've met and interacted with through the online space. And I'm just very excited. So we'll let you hear the update from before. And I won't hold you up any longer. But I hope you're looking forward to what's to come as much as I am. So, past me, take it away. What's up everybody, it's me Johnny G and welcome back to the channel. And this time, we're going back to do another bit of a update type video. It's been a while since we got to do one of these. And I'm not gonna make this one super long or anything like that, but I got a box in the mail, and this was my prize from the recent Arknights video creation event. So I figured we'd do like we normally do, where I'll go ahead and I'll unbox this, and we'll just kind of talk about how that went, and we'll talk about the channel and the updates and life and stuff like that for just a little bit. With that said, I already have the box cut open, and it was basically because I was so confused as to why it was so small and packaged so small. So I kind of already did that much, but basically what is in here is a squished Lappland plushie. Your choices for the prize were either a Lappland or a Texas plushie. Very fitting for the event. And of course I had to pick Pookie. I had to pick Lappland. So now I proudly have 2 Lappland plushies. I could have a Lappland on each shoulder, essentially. Go ahead and get this tag off. And there she is. As you guys know, I already had one of these technically, but it still doesn't matter. I have a Lappland, I have a Texas, and well, I wanted another Pookie that I could put wherever. And this one may actually just go to my bedroom or potentially even up to my desk at work. I'll have a little Lappland with me everywhere I go. But their plushies are always adorable. They're so perfect. And I missed out on Thorns, I believe, in the Yostar store shop, but I wasn't really interested in him at the time, so that doesn't particularly bother me, but I'm excited to see what other plushies, character plushies they put out in the future. I have Texas, I have Lappland, I have Exusier. I have all the Sui siblings they have out so far, because they have Chongyue, Dusk, Neon, and Ling, but they don't have any of the others yet. I have Nero and Blemishine, and I have Fiala and Mulesies, and the Exusier in an apple pie over there. And that's pretty much it for the official plushies. But either way, that's beyond the point. So the past few times this has happened, I've done one of these update videos and just kind of talked to you guys about how the video creation event was, as well as overall the state of the channel and where we are with things and how we've been as far as life and stuff like that. So we'll kick off with the event. And I have to say that that was probably the absolute most fun that I've had with any of the video creation events so far. This was Lappland Altar's event. So this was going back to Syracuse, one of my favorite places in the Arknights world. We were going back to Syracuse. We were going back to pick up where we left off with Il Syracusano. But we introduced Lappland Altar and Vulpes Foglia and a whole new story. And it was a very cool story. I very much loved it. I absolutely loved the new story and where things went. But at the same time, I did things a little bit different. I made a special stream. And with that special stream, I introduced stream graphics and stuff related to the event. And I introduced alerts related to Lappland, and I used music for the intro and outro and the BRB scene and stuff like that. And I completed the entire event in 2 live streams that were such a blast. We had so many people in having fun, watching the gameplay and my narration and voice acting and stuff the entire time. And it was just incredible. So much fun. And I ended up with those 2 streams, which I cut down and created 2 comprehensive videos, one for each one, that I entered into the video creation event. Those were my first 2 parts. I cut out basically all the talk with chat and stuff like that, and I just had 2 comprehensive stories to complete that. But then we had another video where we did the EX stages and stuff like that, and we had another one where we did a challenge. We redid the Texas and Lappland challenge that I did a while back on the channel as a little bit of a milestone video. And this time with adding in Lappland Altar. And we got a bit farther. And unfortunately, that video probably could have continued on, but silly mistakes cost me, and I had to stop. I had to follow the rules that I set forth and stop where I ended up losing. But I knew and found out afterwards that I could have actually beaten the stage, using my head a little bit more. So we may do this again for fun sometime, but it is what it is. That was a ton of fun. But we wrapped things up with a very special Lupo Hit Squad video that I designed, where I basically used all Lupo operators. And it was a ton of fun, and that ended up being the finalist video that Yostar chose. And the Arknights team, they picked that as the finalist video that made it into the finals of the video creation event. And with that, we ended up not just in the top 30, this time around we ended up in the top 20. That was incredible. So much hard work and so much growth over time put me back up into the top 30, whereas last time around we struggled. We didn't have as good of a thing, and it was still a lot of fun. That was with the Pepe and Narantuya event, but we still had a lot of fun, but we just didn't quite crack that top 30. We were there for a little while until the very end. The last hour of the event, we were kicked out of in the high 20s all the way down into the 30s. So it was a little tough, but well, we moved on and we tried to improve our content. But we still had fun. And this time around, I had even more fun. Like I said, this was the most fun I've ever had with any of the video creation events. And the results made it even better yet. And and now I have an extra lappy to speak for. Now, aside from that though, I had a ton of fun creating the videos, and again, with the 2 streams, I had a blast chatting with you all and enjoying the time that we shared while playing the event. And I even had a pretty crazy emotional outburst at the end of the second video, or the second stream. Anybody that was there was a few of you at the end that got to see that, but not outburst, but just an emotional breakdown in a positive way, a good way. But it was so nice and it felt good. But it made me think about a lot of things. And since then, we've grown a lot. We've grown so much. The channel, we've crossed major milestones. We have crossed the first YouTube partner milestone for watch hours, which was 3,000 valid watch hours in the last 365 days. And then we crossed the second watch hour milestone for YouTube partner, which was 4,000 in the last 365 days. Now there's 2 because of the fact that YouTube partner can be applied for when you reach 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours. But then in order to get the ad revenue portion of YouTube partner, you have to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in the last year. And as you know, YouTube partner is one of my huge goals. So we smashed the watch hour portion of it. And now we're rapidly approaching the subscriber portion. As I'm making this video, we're at 418 subscribers. And we're moving forward towards that 500 at a pretty quick and pretty fun pace. I'm very anxious, very excited for it. And that's been the next major goal because too, once I hit 500 subscribers, I can apply for the Arknights headhunting program. And you guys have probably seen that. Anybody who's been in my streams, you see the little message that'll pop up, the timer. Every so often it'll pop up and say, you know, to remind to subscribe if you're new so that you can help me reach YouTube partner and the Arknights headhunting program. They require 500 subscribers and at least 3 Arknights related videos within the past 3 months that have a total of 600 plus views between them. And I've been holding on to that for a while. And I've had a couple videos do insanely well, like my Exusier altar event reveal from China. I reacted to that. I was gonna say I announced that, but I didn't. I reacted to that, and it was awesome because that video blasted through 2,000 views like that, and it was my fastest growing video. As of now, I believe it's my second most watched video if I check my YouTube. And that's crazy. I've never had a video do that well that quickly. And in the end, it's just one of those things where it makes me proud and it makes me happy that my content is not only being seen, but it's being received very well as well. And I'm very excited about what's to come for Arknights and more. Yeah. In my top 3 videos, looking at my YouTube studio dashboard, my number 1 video at 11,871 views is a short 5-minute long 7-Up and milk taste test that I did and published back in 2019 while I was still living in my parents' house at the time. 5 years later here, a little over, but just about 5.5 years later, my top 3 consist of that video. In second place, Exusier altar, and then in third place, the reaction to the episode 15 PV. So I had 2,377 views on Exusier altar as we sit here, and 1,589 on the episode 15 PV reaction. That's incredible. 2 of my Arknights videos are in my top 3 of all time, and I'd love it if someday one of them becomes my number 1. That would be beyond insanity. but it would feel great in the end. But like I said, the channel is moving in such a positive direction, and we're doing so much more right now. We've gone through doing some fun things, like we played Resident Evil 2 Remake now. And we jumped into the Ace Attorney trilogy, and we've been doing art streams and stuff now. Learning how to draw again, when I haven't drawn in a long time. I haven't sat down and enjoyed it. Now I'm learning digital art. And thanks to a lot of you, I'm actually learning and improving. And I'm doing better. I've made my first official full digitally drawn, colored, shaded, everything piece as a gift to one of you. And it's amazing. The community has been incredible throughout all these streams. My wife and I are playing Pow World. We've got other games. I've gotten into trying indie games and stuff. I've entered into a couple groups where I'm receiving keys and stuff in my email to try these new indie games and things, and it's been mind-boggling because it's so cool and so much fun. And of course, you know, we've had our downs. We've had a couple small slips and mishaps and things with the channel, and some negativity that's happened, but nothing too crazy. Nothing that's drugged me down to the point of not wanting to continue. Nothing that's drugged me down to the point of, you know, taking massive breaks or anything like that. It's just more motivation for me to work harder, to do better, to be better, and to prove that I won't let a small step in the wrong direction take me down. And one of the cool things is the fact that I've grown a little bit in my self-esteem and things to where I'm better at brushing things off a little bit more now and looking forward to the future, being more positive about where things can go. And that's been helpful too. Like, for example, one thing that's kind of got to me for a little bit, and I will say, you know, I'm not going to lie and say that it was an experience that pushed me down, or that it didn't push me down, I should say, because it kind of did, but it didn't hold me down. And I'll explain what I mean in a minute. Is I've talked about this a couple times, whether on social media or on here on stream and stuff with you guys. But I had a moment where I followed some advice from some other creators that I had met at an anime convention that my family and I go to. And I was trying to expand my horizons, so to speak, and you know, work on building my brand more. I wanted to get out there. I wanted to start networking and meeting people and getting involved with conventions and things like that. Not necessarily in the role of a guest, but I wanted to network and see if they would allow me to come in and help at conventions and places that I could travel, and I could maybe do like I've seen other creators do, including these ones that gave me the advice, and sit and be part of like the convention by either helping to host panels or interacting and doing things with them for social media, or they have where you can get tables and stuff like in the dealer hall or somewhere in the convention to where you could come and hang out and be there and network with people and kind of show your brand and stuff, and, you know, talk and interact with the attendees and things. And there was just some advice that I was given. So I started trying to reach out to places, and nothing came of it yet. And it's probably just because my numbers are too low. But the thing is, the people that were giving me these advices and things were ones who didn't have that much higher of a following than I did when I met them. So it's not like it's this crazy, you know, difference in numbers or things. And maybe I just wasn't their cup of tea. That's cool. But I had one in particular tell me, unfortunately, it was the convention that my family goes to. They basically told me that they didn't have a track for content creators coming as guests. But then when that was their way of basically telling me no. They didn't tell me the truth about why. They just told me that they didn't have a track for content creators, only to go on and announce multiple VTubers, 2 YouTubers, and all these other social media type people who do cosplay and who do music and whatever. And they did a lot of really strange stuff with their announcements and stuff this year that kind of was weird, and I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I ended up writing an email after that to their board of directors, and I said, you know, hey, this is disappointing because, you know, I'm not trying to cause any problems. I said, I'm not trying to be negative about things. I just want to make sure that maybe this gets clarified. Maybe I was given some wrong information, and if that's the case, you know, this could be a moment of clarity for us to open dialogues, especially for other creators who may reach out in the future, to make sure that lines don't get crossed. And, you know, I said that you guys have announced all these other content creators and VTubers and stuff like that, but I was told that there is no track for that stuff. Well, then in the end, I had somebody respond to me pretty quickly. But they basically said that, well, that they have a track for VTubers, but yet you got 2 YouTubers and other creators as well. And they said that content creation is such a broad term. Well, in a sense, yeah, it is, because, you know, you could really start to nitpick and break down your categories of people, your reaction creators, your gaming creators, your IRL creators, your VTubers and stuff like that. There's so many more categories and stuff we could get into, but while content creator is a broad term, it still encompasses all that stuff that you did invite that you said you don't have a track for. And they asked me for some more information about myself, and when I gave it, after that, I never heard anything back. But like I said, they've done some very strange stuff this year overall that I feel like there's some weird stuff going on behind the scenes, because they didn't even invite a Japanese band like they normally do. They gave some weird blanket excuse as to why. And instead they have these American cover artists, which, you know, they're YouTubers. It is exactly what they are. They're YouTubers. And okay, cool, if that's what you wanted to go for, but like that would have been something that, you know, my family and I kind of would have been a little bit of a deal breaker, because it's one of the huge reasons we love to go is to see and meet the Japanese bands. We love to meet the guests and stuff like that. We love to see some of the panels and stuff, and we love to go to the dealer hall and things like that. We love to cosplay. Those are our big reasons. But the Japanese band, the concert, is always a huge tradition for us to go see the concert. And the night after the concert, we stop and get fast food on the way home. It's been a tradition. My wife and I used to go to Arby's every year, but after the pandemic and stuff happened, the change in hours for a lot of the restaurants, Arby's usually isn't open at that time when we're leaving the convention, which is sometimes 10:30, 11 o'clock into close to midnight at that point on the night of the concert. But it just feels so weird that they've done some very strange stuff this year, and they didn't even get a good, you know, Japanese band like they normally do, and they gave some weird, strange reason, blanket excuse why, you know? And it is what it is, whatever. But overall, it was a case where I pretty much got lied to about something, but I didn't let it get me down, is what I'm getting at. The point I'm bringing up with that is, it was one of the negative experiences, but I did not let it break me. I pushed forward. I pushed past it. And here I am, still working hard, still doing better. I have better numbers than what I did back then. And I have other things going on for me that are incredible and positive. And we're not just doing content now. We're doing voice acting. I've got my first 3 roles I've been cast in officially. And I'm learning the art and stuff, like I said. We're doing other kinds of games and things. And the channel's growing. And overall, life has been great. we still have issues and things that we're dealing with, and, you know, some things financial, other things just overall typical things that life hits you with that we're dealing with, but life has been better, and I felt much better about myself lately. I've been fighting through the occasional bout of depression and stuff like normal, the anxiety, but I've been doing a lot better with it. I've been happier with myself and with who I am. So right now we're in a period of positive. We're in a period of going up. And I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon. So I hope you guys are going to stay here on this journey with me. And we continue moving forward. We continue growing. We smash these next couple of goals. And we do so much more together. This has been one hell of a good period in my life. And without you guys, without the community, it means nothing. I say that, and I mean it. Like I said, the community has been amazing. You guys have been amazing in my chats, on my streams, my comments, on my videos. It's been awesome. I love seeing you guys talking with each other, not just me. I love seeing you getting to know each other and saying hi to each other all the time in chat and just having a blast. It's a good feeling. And with that, I feel like it can only continue to be positive from here. With the Discord coming in the future, you know, the community Discord coming in the future, and other fun ideas planned, we're going to look forward to some very cool things. More games, more fun content, more streaming, and more community. So guys, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I don't want to keep this short and sweet. I don't want to make it super long like I normally do and drone on and on and on, but we are moving forward in a very positive way. And things have been looking up. Things have been looking very up. So with that, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for helping me to reach the goals that I have so far, for helping to push me in the right direction, in a very positive direction, and for making this channel thrive and grow and cross so many goals and milestones today. But here's the more, many more in the future. With that said, guys, thank you so much for being here and for being part of the channel. Appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time out of your day to watch any and all of my videos and my streams, and so much. Interacting with me on social media, on Discord, everywhere else. You guys are amazing. If you're new to the channel and this is your first time seeing me, please make sure to subscribe, because I think you'll want to be part of the journey coming up. I think you'll want to be there as we continue to grow and celebrate, and we stick with being a fun, wholesome, down-to-earth community. And with that, that is it for this one. Thank you all again, and I will see you all next time.